Hi there guys, I'm here at Battle Arena Melbourne 6 with Mick Gordon, the man himself, the Killer Instinct legend. How are you, Mick?
I'm very well, Luke. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. So let's talk about KI and what you can and can't answer. I don't want you getting into any trouble. So, firstly, congratulations on the Gang Award.
Thank you. Thank you very much, man. That was incredible. That was really good. Thank you very much.
I saw that and I thought, oh yeah, it was well deserved. I really did like the Orchid track. Stage, I wasn't the biggest fan of, I'll be honest. I wanted a rooftop stage, that's all. It looked cool, but I loved the music. Just wanted to talk about the future of Killer Instinct. So we've got now a new developer working on Killer Instinct. I'm not sure if you can talk about this stuff or not.
You're just going to throw me the mic and see what happens, huh? Yeah, so what do you want to know? Obviously, Double Helix have handed the development of Killer Instinct over to Iron Galaxy, a developer in Chicago. And they have a pretty good track record. I mean, you know, fans don't need to be worried about the future of Killer Instinct whatsoever. These guys have had fighting game experience before. They know what they're doing. They're very passionate. They've got a really good team. They're very skilled. Obviously, Chicago is quite big in the fighting game scene, as of course you know, being a Mortal Kombat fan. So yeah, I mean, the future of Killer Instinct is in really, really safe hands. Yeah.
That's awesome, that's awesome. So have you spoken much about the future of Killer Instinct, like Season 2 or any of that sort of thing?
Yeah, so the future of Killer Instinct with Season 2 coming up, there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff coming out at E3. I'm sure everybody's going to be having their eyes peeled and things. It's going to be a great year for E3, really, because, I mean, your Xbox One has been out for a little while, so seeing the new games that are going to come out, it's going to be great. There's a lot of expectations for Season 2, of course, because Killer Instinct has become quite successful, so people are hoping for really, really good things. What are you guys going to see? I don't know. You're going to have to wait for E3, unfortunately.
Damn it! It's only a month. I think I can do it. All right, so I know that you actually play online too. So you've played a lot of people. Is that right?
That is right. That is correct, yeah.
How good are you? Because I haven't played you yet.
It's weird. When Killer Instinct came out, I'd been playing, obviously because we get the game, so we get builds of the game, so you can build and work and all that sort of thing. And I'd been playing the game for about 6 months against the CPU. And I was awesome. I was really, really good, right? Really, really good Jago player. Anyway, so Killer Instinct got launched, got released, and then I jumped online, and like within a couple of hours, I was like way up, like number 12 in the world or something, right? And I was like, yeah, this is great. And then the rate at how quickly people improved was astronomical. Within a couple of days, people were pulling things off that we didn't know what was possible. And that is the most amazing thing when you create this game and send it out into the world, and people like yourself get a hold of it and can play with the tools that the game gives you to do whatever you want to do. You can express yourself however you want to. And what we saw people doing was just mind-blowing. We had guys figuring out how to juggle ultras with Orchid and get these 250 plus numbers and things. We had people that were, you know, working out all cool ways to kind of do instant cancel this and jump out of this and things. I mean, we kind of knew that stuff was there, but seeing how fighting game players use those exploits, I guess you'll say, is a fascinating thing. So now, man, I mean, I struggle to beat anybody online. It's an embarrassment, that's for sure. I'm not very good.
It's all right. I'm not good at the game either, but I do really enjoy playing it. But yeah, so another question I had for you is, a lot of people have asked about a soundtrack, and I think you did mention somewhere that there's a possibility of a soundtrack coming out. Is this confirmed or denied, or can you shed any light on the soundtrack?
Yeah, of course. So essentially we have Killer Instinct Season 1 that is out, and there's a whole bunch of music in there that we'd love to get out. The question now is kind of editing that and getting it to a stage that's able to be released on iTunes. As you know, the game has a very dynamic music system, so it's not so easy as just pulling the music out of the game and getting it released. It's also about finding a great way to do it, a great time to do it. So we have E3 coming up, we have Season 2 coming up. So finding a spot for a release window in there that makes sense is the kind of next challenge. So I've done my part. It's kind of out of my hands now. It's with the Microsoft crew, it's with those guys. So really whenever they want to release it, that's when we'll see it.
Right. Yeah. So it sounds like you're thinking purely digital, is that right?
I would love to see a big proper release. I would love to see vinyl. I would love to see a CD release with Spinal on the front cover and, you know, holding his shield and things or whatever, you know, that'd be great. I'd love to see remix stems being sent out there too, so DJs can kind of remix the tracks and have Orchid's track pumping in clubs and stuff. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it in trailers. I'd love to see it all over the place. So who knows? I know for sure it's definitely going to be a digital release. Whether it jumps into any of those other realms, we'll have to wait and see.
You know, it's funny because it makes a great ringtone. Give me a sec.
Do you really have it? Wow.
Maybe. Let's have a look here. Alright, let me just...
Oh, cool! Very cool, man.
Wow. So yeah, I would love to see it released like that too, you know, because it's a great piece of music. You know, all the music, sorry. But when I heard the theme, is really stuck in my head. It was the first thing we heard, and I was like, whoa, that guy knew that theme. You know, he really knew how to get it down and make it really some badass beats. And every time you did, like, I was like glued to the internet. Whenever you did something new, like when I was up on SoundCloud, I found a way to get it onto my iPod. All those themes you did, the Fulgore theme, they really had that key, that metal, that double bass, and yeah, it was really awesome stuff, man.
Thank you.
So, let's talk about other things, like, other than Killer Instinct, because you're not just the Killer Instinct guy, you've obviously got other projects coming out. So, would you like to tell us about other things you're doing?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So the next release is Wolfenstein: The New Order, which is coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC on May the 20th. And, I mean, you know, I played Killer Instinct so much when I was a kid, right? But all of us played Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein, if it was not for that game, we would not have our Call of Duties. Our concept of the modern first-person shooter was based on Wolfenstein. So getting an opportunity to play in that universe, I mean, if Killer Instinct was a big cake, this was just as big. I mean, it was incredible to kind of jump into that. It's a very story-driven game, which is an interesting take on Wolfenstein. It's not just running around shooting Nazis. It is very much a story-driven experience. If the player wants to find everything, explore the game, really play through and absorb the story, we're looking at 22 hours of gameplay, so it's really quite a big game. It's also going to be a great looking next-gen game. It's at full 1080p, it's at 60 frames per second, running on id Tech 5. So this is an engine that people haven't seen for a long time, for a while, and it's looking really, really fantastic. Yeah.
I did see the trailer, so I was quite impressed. And I have seen bus stop ads already. I've seen ads.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
Yeah, I saw Wolfenstein: The New Order on a bus yesterday. So,
that's cool. Yeah, awesome.
Anything else?
Yeah, so that's Wolfenstein. The next game that's announced is Routine, which is a science fiction indie title, and set on the moon. I think we talked about this a little bit last time, but that's shaping up to be really, really cool. We've got a couple of months more left on that one, and that one's going to come out very, very soon. And then everything else I can't talk about. There's going to be a few things at E3 that are going to be announced, but everything else I can't talk about. Otherwise, I'll get into big trouble. I really wish I could, though. I'm sorry, man.
It's fine. I don't want you getting in any trouble. I got to do my job though and try and squeeze those details, squeeze that stuff. So, will you be going to E3 this year?
I won't be going to E3. I'm going to be tied down with deadlines, unfortunately.
Oh man.
Are you going to be going?
I'd love to go, but no. I'm poor.
I'd love to go to E3. I'm only going to be E3 in sound, unfortunately. So, maybe next year.
Are you going to be online at 4 a.m. like me, watching all the press conferences?
I'm probably going to be online at 4 a.m. making deliveries on a project, I'd say. Yeah.
Damn, it sounds like you're really busy, man.
It's pretty 24 hours a day at the moment. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, well, it's not 24 hours a day. Usually.
Where do you sleep?
Those things.
Are you a robot? Are you really?
There's just, I mean, between, you know, being down here in Australia, working with so many different people all around the world. So we have guys in the States and guys in Sweden, all around the different places, right? So the time schedule throughout the day is all over the place. So when I'm finishing up my day, I have guys in the US and Sweden that are starting, and then when they're finishing, my day starting here. So the sleeping schedule gets all over the place, yeah. So, but I try to get a little bit. I've got a little couch in my studio now, so I try to lay down there and catch it like in a half an hour or something, and get back up and keep working again. So.
Wow, it sounds like you're flat stick, man. Flat stick. But I got another actually KI question that just jumped into my head. Have you heard anything about a retail release?
I would love to see a retail release. Have I heard of anything new? I haven't. I would love to see. It would make sense, I guess, if you're going to do a retail release, that it would launch with all the game's content. I mean, if you're going to get that disc, you want all of it. So I would imagine once they finish with their seasons, then you might see a retail release. I would love to. I think that'd be really cool. It's so cool. I mean, to have that physical game, right? You're old school, yeah. You like to have all those games on the shelves, right? I get this massive bookcase at home, which is full of games and things. That's all in there. I'd love to have Killer Instinct sitting in there. Maybe. Let's cross our fingers, man. Let's hope for the best.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people hoped that the season 1 was going to drop as a retail, and I know when they first announced it, and this isn't a detail or anything, but I noticed one of the image names was Retail Box and was the logo, and I thought, maybe it will come into a box, but it was just a file name. Do you know what I mean? That probably changed, but yeah, I think a lot of people hope that there's season 1 box and then season 2 like DLC, sort of like Borderlands. They add the add-ons, but no, as well, I would love for a retail box. That'd be like totally awesome. It's funny. I found my original Killer Instinct soundtrack the other day. The original one that I bought, because I got a few extra ones. This is the one I cut in half with scissors because I didn't like it being in cardboard. I know, I was a bad kid. I cut this. Yeah, because I wanted it in a jewel case. And I just looked at it and I'm like, that's terrible what I did to that CD case. But so it was a bit of interesting history. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I'm just thinking, it's so incredible to have Killer Instinct out there finally and come to events like BAM and just see what people are doing with it. Essentially we make this thing, we send it off into the world, and to see what people do it is the real kind of crazy satisfaction that you get out of it, Like I have my Killer Instinct in mind and its music and its interactive systems and all that sitting in the background, but seeing players sit down and bash away some combos, that's a completely different level of passion there. That's exciting. So it's great to see this stuff happening, man.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time again, Mick. Hopefully this interview's been better. I'm sorry if I dropped out of frame, guys. My cord's too short this time. But thanks as always.
Thanks, Luke.
And I hope to talk to you again.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
See you guys later.